Are you training consistently, eating your protein, doing everything right, and still wondering if you need supplements to build muscle after 40? Maybe the problem isn't what you're missing. It's what the entire fitness industry has been hiding from you. There are truths about muscle building after 40 that don't just challenge conventional wisdom, they expose a billion-dollar lie. Point 1. The muscle loss myth that's stealing your confidence. Let's start by destroying the biggest lie in the fitness industry. That muscle loss after 40 is inevitable and irreversible. You've heard about sarcopenia, the age-related muscle loss that supposedly steals 3 to 8% of your muscle mass every decade after 40. Terrifying, right? That's exactly what they want you to believe, because fear sells supplements. Here's the reality. A groundbreaking 2019 study published in the Journal of Applied Physiology tracked men in their 60s and 70s who maintained consistent resistance training. The results? Their muscle protein synthesis rates, the actual biological process of building new muscle tissue, were virtually identical to men in their 20s. Not similar, not close, identical. Same protein synthesis, same muscle building, different age, no supplements. The difference wasn't testosterone replacement therapy. It wasn't a stack of supplements. It wasn't some secret protocol. It was brutally simple. They lifted weights consistently with progressive overload. That's it. Sarcopenia isn't caused by aging. It's caused by inactivity. Your muscles after 40 don't need supplements to grow. They need the same 3 mechanisms that build muscle at any age: mechanical tension, metabolic stress, and muscle damage. But there's one specific training variable these older lifters optimize that younger guys completely ignore, and it's the reason they built muscle so efficiently. I'll reveal exactly what it is when we get to point 4. The takeaway? Your age isn't the problem. Your activity level is. And no supplement can replace the stimulus of progressive resistance training. Point 2. Protein synthesis still works. You just need strategic precision. Now here's where it gets interesting. After 40, your muscles develop what scientists call anabolic resistance. Basically, your muscle protein synthesis machinery becomes less sensitive to protein intake. Think of it like a dimmer switch that's been turned down slightly. The light still works. You just need to adjust the input. But here's the key. You can completely overcome this without supplements. Research from McMaster University, one of the world's leading muscle protein synthesis research labs, found that older adults need approximately 0.4 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight per meal to maximize muscle protein synthesis. For a 180-pound person, 82 kilograms, that's about 33 grams of protein per meal. Not from a supplement, from real food. Here's what 33 grams of protein actually looks like. 5 ounces of chicken breast, 6 ounces of Greek yogurt plus a handful of almonds, 4 whole eggs, 6 ounces of salmon, 7 ounces of lean ground beef. You don't need protein powder. You need a meal plan with strategic protein distribution. And here's the game changer that most people miss. Meal frequency matters more after 40 than total daily protein. It's not how much protein you eat. It's when and how often you eat it. A study published in the journal Nutrients showed that spreading protein evenly across 4 meals throughout the day created significantly more muscle protein synthesis in older adults than consuming the same total protein in just 2-3 meals. Why? Because each protein feeding creates a spike in muscle protein synthesis that lasts about 3-5 hours. 4 meals means 4 spikes, 4 opportunities for growth, 4 signals to your body that it's time to build muscle. This is called repeated stimulation of muscle protein synthesis. And no supplement can replicate this effect. It's pure meal timing strategy. And here's something almost nobody talks about. There's a specific type of protein that works better after 40 than any other. But before we get to that, you need to understand what's really happening with your hormones, because this is where the supplement industry has been lying to you for decades. And the truth is going to surprise you. Point 3. Your testosterone is fine. Your lifestyle is sabotaging it. Let's address the elephant in the room: testosterone. Every supplement ad targeting men over 40 screams about declining testosterone. Low T, andropause, male menopause. They've built an entire industry around your fear. Here's the reality. Yes, testosterone declines about 1% per year after age 30, but here's what the research actually shows, and this is the part they desperately don't want you to know. A landmark study published in JAMA Internal Medicine, one of the most prestigious medical journals in the world, tracked over 2,000 men aged 40, 70 for multiple years. They found that testosterone levels were far more strongly correlated with lifestyle factors than with chronological age. Men who were overweight or obese, 40% lower testosterone than lean men the same age. Men who were sedentary, 30% lower testosterone than active men the same age. Men who slept less than 6 hours per night, 15% lower testosterone per hour of sleep, lost. But here's the kicker. Men who strength trained 3-4 times per week, maintained body fat levels under 20%, and slept 7-9 hours consistently had testosterone levels comparable to men 10-15 years younger. Your T isn't low because you're 45. It's low because you're stressed, tired, and inactive. No supplements, no testosterone replacement, just strategic lifestyle optimization. Here's your natural testosterone optimization protocol. Training: heavy compound lifts, squats, deadlifts, bench press, rows, 3-4 times per week with loads at 75 to 85% of your 1 rep max. These movements create the largest acute hormonal response. Body composition: keep body fat under 20%. Fat tissue contains an enzyme called aromatase that converts testosterone to estrogen. The leaner you are, the better your testosterone to estrogen ratio. Sleep: 7-9 hours of quality sleep every night. Testosterone is produced primarily during deep sleep. Cut your sleep, cut your testosterone production. It's that direct. Stress management: chronic stress elevates cortisol, which directly suppresses testosterone production. Meditation, walking, breathing exercises. These aren't soft practices. They're hormonal optimization tools. Dietary fat: at least 0.4 grams of fat per pound of body weight, with emphasis on monounsaturated and saturated fats. Testosterone is synthesized from cholesterol. Low-fat diets tank testosterone. Here's where people get divided. Do you think testosterone decline after 40 is inevitable and requires medical intervention? Or is it mostly lifestyle-driven and reversible naturally? Drop your honest take in the comments. I want to see where you stand because this debate splits the fitness community right down the middle. Point 4. Recovery is your secret weapon, not your weakness. Now we're getting to the point I promised would change everything. This is the training variable those older lifters optimized that I mentioned earlier. After 40, your recovery capacity changes. But here's the counterintuitive truth. This is actually an advantage if you know how to use it. Younger lifters can get away with junk volume, training 6 days a week with mediocre intensity and still make progress because their recovery is bulletproof. They can outwork bad programming. After 40, your body becomes brutally honest. It only responds to what actually matters. Progressive overload with adequate recovery. Your body becomes a filter that separates what works from what's just wasted effort. Slower recovery isn't a weakness. It's a truth detector for what actually builds muscle. Research from the University of Alabama compared 2 training protocols in men over 50. Group A trained 6 days per week with moderate intensity and high volume. Group B trained 3 days per week with high intensity and full recovery between sessions. After 16 weeks, when total volume was equated, Group B had 27% more muscle gain. Same total work, half the frequency, better results. Why? Because muscle isn't built in the gym, it's built during recovery. Training is the stimulus. Recovery is where adaptation happens. After 40, you need to respect that process. Here's what optimal training and recovery looks like after 40. Frequency: 3-4 resistance training sessions per week. Quality over quantity. Recovery time: 48-72 hours between training the same muscle group. Your muscles need time to repair and grow. Active recovery: walking 30-45 minutes on off days, mobility work, light stretching, movement without stress. Deload weeks: every 4-6 weeks, reduce training volume by 40 to 50% for 1 week. This allows full systemic recovery and prevents overtraining. Sleep prioritization: if you're choosing between an extra training session or an extra hour of sleep, choose sleep. Always. This isn't about doing less. It's about doing what actually works and eliminating what just creates fatigue without adaptation. And if you think recovery is just about rest days and deloads, wait until you hear how sleep quality literally determines whether you build muscle or waste every rep you do in the gym. This next point is where most people over 40 are unknowingly sabotaging months of hard work, and it has nothing to do with supplements. Point 5. Sleep is your anabolic steroid. Here's a stat that should terrify you. 1 week of sleeping just 5 hours per night reduces testosterone by 10 to 15% and reduces muscle protein synthesis by 18%. At the same time, it increases muscle protein breakdown by 17%. Do the math. That's a 35% swing in your muscle building capacity in the wrong direction. Bad sleep doesn't slow muscle growth, it reverses it. No supplement on earth can overcome chronic sleep deprivation. Not protein powder, not creatine, not even actual anabolic steroids work optimally without adequate sleep. Sleep is non-negotiable. After 40, sleep architecture naturally changes. You get less deep sleep, more fragmented sleep, and wake up more frequently during the night. But here's the good news. You can optimize what you do get. And when you do, your body literally builds muscle while you're unconscious. Research from the University of Sao Paulo shows that growth hormone, which peaks during deep sleep, is crucial for muscle repair and protein synthesis in older adults. Growth hormone stimulates muscle protein synthesis, increases amino acid uptake into muscle cells, and promotes fat oxidation for energy. All of this happens while you sleep. You're either building muscle for 8 hours every night, or you're wasting 8 hours of potential recovery. Here's your sleep optimization protocol. Duration: 7-9 hours minimum, non-negotiable. Studies show that sleeping less than 7 hours reduces testosterone by 10 to 15% and significantly increases cortisol. Environment: room temperature, 65 to 68 degrees Fahrenheit. Your core body temperature needs to drop to enter deep sleep. Complete darkness. Even small amounts of light suppress melatonin production. Quiet or white noise to mask disruptive sounds. Routine: consistent sleep schedule. Same bedtime and wake time every day, even weekends. Your circadian rhythm thrives on consistency and punishes irregularity. Pre-sleep protocol: no screens, 60 minutes before bed. Blue light suppresses melatonin by up to 50%. No caffeine after 2 p.m. Caffeine has a half-life of 5-6 hours. No large meals within 3 hours of bedtime. Digestion interferes with sleep quality. Strategic supplementation: the only one I'll recommend. Magnesium glycinate 400 milligrams taken 30 minutes before bed. This isn't a muscle-building supplement, it's a sleep aid. Magnesium regulates GABA receptors in the brain, which promote relaxation and deep sleep. And here's the bonus strategy: consuming 30-40 grams of slow-digesting protein, like casein from Greek yogurt or cottage cheese, before bed has been shown to increase overnight muscle protein synthesis by up to 22% in older adults. That's not a supplement, that's strategic meal timing. Point 6. Nutrient density is your competitive advantage. Let's talk about what you're actually eating. After 40, your body doesn't need more food, it needs better food. Nutrient density becomes the difference between building muscle efficiently and spinning your wheels. Here's why. Micronutrient deficiencies accumulate over decades, and many of these micronutrients directly impact muscle protein synthesis, testosterone production, and recovery capacity. The solution isn't a multivitamin. It's nutrient-dense whole foods, protein sources with bonus nutrients, whole eggs, complete amino acid profile, choline for brain and muscle function, vitamin D for testosterone and bone health, selenium for thyroid function. The yolk contains most of these nutrients. Don't throw it away. Salmon: high-quality protein plus omega-3 fatty acids, EPA and DHA, that reduce inflammation, improve insulin sensitivity, and support muscle protein synthesis. Also rich in vitamin D and selenium. Carbohydrate sources: sweet potatoes, vitamin A for immune function, potassium for muscle contraction more than bananas, fiber for gut health and blood sugar control, oats, sustained energy release, beta-glucan fiber for heart health and cholesterol management, B vitamins for energy production. Fat sources: avocados, monounsaturated fats for heart health, potassium for muscle function, fiber for satiety and gut health, nuts and seeds, vitamin E, antioxidant for recovery, magnesium, muscle relaxation and sleep, healthy fats for hormone production. Point 7. Consistency is your superpower. Here's the final truth, and it's the most important one. The biggest advantage you have after 40 isn't genetics. It isn't optimal programming. It isn't even perfect nutrition. It's wisdom. You understand consistency. You understand patience. You understand delayed gratification. You understand that building muscle is a marathon, not a sprint. And that understanding is worth more than any supplement stack. A study in the Journal of Strength and Conditioning Research tracked 2 groups of men over 50 for 12 months. Group A trained intensely but inconsistently, sometimes 5 days a week, sometimes skipping entire weeks, always chasing the perfect program or the latest trend. Group B trained moderately, but never missed a session. 3 days per week, every single week for the entire year. Same exercises, same progression, just showing up consistently. After 12 months, Group B had 34% more muscle gain. Consistency beats intensity. Systems beat motivation. Discipline beats supplements. Here's what consistency actually looks like in practice. Training, 3-4 sessions per week, every week for months and years. Not when you feel motivated, not when it's convenient. Every week, no exceptions. Nutrition, hitting protein targets daily, not just on training days. 0.4 grams per kilogram per meal, 4 meals per day, 7 days per week. Weekends count. Sleep, 7-9 hours consistently. Not catching up on weekends. Not sacrificing sleep for work or entertainment every night. Stress management, daily practice, not crisis intervention. 10 minutes of meditation, 30 minutes of walking, breathing exercises, every single day. Progress tracking, objective measurements monthly. Body weight, body composition, strength numbers, progress photos, data doesn't lie. You don't need supplements, you need a system. And you need to execute that system long enough for compound interest to work its magic. Because here's what nobody tells you. Muscle building after 40 isn't about quick wins or 12-week transformations. It's about small, consistent actions compounded over time. And when you do that, when you show up consistently for 6 months, 12 months, 24 months, the results aren't just good. They're transformative. So can you build muscle without supplements after 40? Not only can you absolutely should. Because when you build muscle naturally, you're not just building muscle, you're building resilience. You're building discipline. You're building self-reliance. You're building proof that your body is still capable of incredible adaptation. Speaking of recovery, if you want to know the exact recovery protocols that actually work, and which ones are just wasting your time, I reveal everything in my video, The Truth About Muscle Recovery. Links in the description. It's the perfect follow-up to what you're learning here.